Right, what have I got today? Boosh, just a quick one. One of my tool reviews here, a very rapid review. I like to keep these quite short, you know, under sort of 10 minutes, something like that. I'll try to do that anyway, but as you realise with a lot of my videos, they tend to go on for 3 and 6 hours, but I will try and keep this concise. So if you remember, I was looking at, I think last time was a TT20, something like that, the Wera, sorry, ignore them, they're other items. I quite like the design of the handles, that's why I tend to go for the Wera stuff. Some of them German, you know, it's German engineering, and that's what I tend to like to go for. They work for me. There are other brands available, though I'm not saying these are good and everything else is rubbish. I don't know that because I haven't tried them, but I'm just telling you my thoughts on what I'm looking at here. So I like this, I thought it was well made and it's still doing the job. So with that in mind, and bearing in mind this came with, I think there was some, there was no Torx on this, was there? There was Phillips, Podgy drive and a flathead. There was no Torx on this, so now I think when I looked at this one there was some Torx. This is like a stubby. Let's just check that. I could be completely wrong. No, I've got them in a separate thing. So again, no Torx. So with that in mind, I got this. Now you could use the argument, what's the point? These are both 1/4 inch drives. Why don't you just get some 1/4 inch heads? Where am I going to put them? So with this, I've got a complete set here. So this is the Wera TORX and the TORX BO. In other words, sometimes they'll refer to that. Sometimes they'll say BO, sometimes they won't. BO really means borehole, and it's talking about this central section here. Sometimes that's referred to as a security measurement. I don't really understand that because it can't be that secure because someone can just go and buy that. So how secure actually is that? That's like saying this is a secure safe that I put my gold in, but everyone can go and buy a key. Well, it's not secure then, is it? But that's generally what some people call them. So this is just a set of L keys. The point of an L key is you get a lot more torque because it's the perfect example of where you use a lever. You get a lot more torque more easily. Yes, you can get a lot of torque on these, and you can use, you know, cheater methods, and when they've got this, you can put, like, you know, wrenches around and things like that, but without having to do that, you can just use a set of these. So we'll quickly go over the specs here. So ergonomic sleeve, in other words, they've put this on. The reason I got this is just they're easier at using the cold, and they're just, you can quickly go to a specific colour. I think they call that Take It Easy Tool Finder. Now when they say Take It Easy Tool Finder, they're on about the colours. I do find that generally useful. If you constantly use like 1 or 2 different head sizes on a project, you can quickly go, well, okay, I need a yellow and a red. You can quickly go to them. Yes, they've got, you know, they've got it written on what Torx it is. There's a Torx 40, for example. 10 and 20s and 15s are the sort of ones I generally use, but it means you can quickly go to them. So I prefer the ones with the sleeve. So Take It Tool Finder, yeah, okay, it works. Ergonomic sleeve, well, ergonomic, it's okay, it's not much better than a bare one. And ball end, now the whole point of a ball end is you can angle it, because sometimes you cannot always get perfectly in at a right angle, but we'll go over that. So this is what you get here. So it's torque bow hole, or security some people call it, and there is the ball head. You can see you can put it in its slight different sort of angles and you still get the same effect. You lose a tiny little bit of seating there, but it does work. And it's multicolor. So in this particular set, which is, now I do have the number here, it's a 967-9. I think there's a #9 SB. I think the only difference between the two of them is there's one which is SB or something and one that isn't SB. One is in a retail box and one isn't. That's as far as I can tell anyway. So back to the back here. So you get a Torx 8, 9, 10, 15, 20, 25, 27, 30 and 40. But we need to have a close look, so enough waffling, let's get in the box here. So here's the set here. Yeah, you get one of these stickers that you can stick in your motorcycle helmet or whatever, I don't know. Right, so boosh, get rid of that. I've kept the box just to show you, but I have used this a few times at work. So the thing itself, which keeps them all together, is okay. It's kind of rubberized, look. It's plasticky, but it's got a little bit of give into it. I like that. I prefer the rubberized ones, and it is quite simple. You just lift this and the flap opens. Not that you need to do that, because you can get any of them, especially when you know the colors. Like if I know I need a yellow, I can just flip that out and away you go. But obviously they need to be out the way as well, but you just pull that out. So, and it grips okay because of that slight give in it and the slight rubberization. It does work. They all have a coating. In fact, let's take one out so you can have a proper look. I'll take the purple out. Okay, so there's the ball end. So you can see quite an interesting design there. It still Torx profile wise. If you were to push that into some sand, you'd still get the Torx profile. In fact, I'll do it on my hand here. I'll push it in. There you see the Torx. There you go. So it's works exactly the same, but it allows you to angle it, because sometimes you can't get in. You should be able to most of the time, but bear in mind, because certain designs, yes, it's okay to get in like that and get plenty of leverage, but what happens if it's really small and right out the way and it becomes more difficult? That just gives you more options. There's no holding option on these, because generally with Torx you don't need a holding option. When I say holding option, that means like a detent ball bearing, or some measurement of tapering where it holds nuts on and things like that. In fact, that mark's still there. I wonder if that's ever going to go. That's my new tattoo, my Torx tattoo. And the sleeves are okay, they haven't come off, they don't come off for me, and that doesn't mean they won't. Chemical sort of resistance, I'm not sure, but they seem okay. I haven't put any sort of mega hydrocarbons on it or anything like that, but they're okay. And they seem to have a coating. I don't think this is like a DLC, you know, like a diamond-like coating, or the PVC, which is, you know, physical vapor deposition, or whatever the hell it stands for. Physical vapor deposition is where you sort of blast it with heat in a vacuum, and then you deposit that vaporization back on the surface. It may be something like that. I think on their website they refer to it as like a diamond, not a diamond, as a laser coating. So it could be using a laser to heat it and then deposit back down. I can't really tell. It seems to give something of a sacrificial layer, which is good. You know, it stops it rusting, because, you know, stainless steel, it's stainless, not stain proof. Even stainless steel will go. I mean, if you want proper corrosion protection, you'd probably go for something like a chrome plated or something like that, or one of these platings, but you tend to be a little bit softer, which I don't want with Torx. And there you can see the borehole. Now, interestingly, they're not all borehole. So let's have a quick look at this. So there you go. So as you can see, they're only borehole down to 15. Once you get smaller than that, look, they lose the borehole. That's a shame, because I've seen screws, well, security or borehole screws, which would require that. I'll be honest, I haven't seen many down to 8, but certainly on sort of 10, 9, yeah, I've seen them. So it's a shame that once you get down, that disappears. I don't know whether they're doing that for cheapness, because obviously tolerance-wise, it becomes very difficult to prevent them from snapping once you get down to a certain size, especially if you borehole it out. It could be a quality thing, I don't know, or some decision made by them where they're going to sell extra editions. I'd like to think not, but as a, you know, if you're getting this for the pure borehole or security of the Torx, just beware, it isn't, because it only gets to that level, which is a shame. And then as soon as you hit 9 and then 8 and go down, you don't get them. So I just want people to be fully aware of that. It doesn't bother me. I think I might have seen one that small, but in my job that doesn't bother me. So it hasn't been an issue for me, but that doesn't mean it won't be an issue. So bear that in mind. I mean, this is okay. It does the job. I'll probably try and put it in a wrap or something like that. It certainly keeps them together, look, like that. And I haven't had this flicking up or anything. Interestingly, you do get a magnetizer. So there's your plus. So yes, this doesn't have a holding option, but if you wanted to magnetize this for you know, steel screws and protectors, what you could do is, there you see there's a magnet under there. In fact, you can see it, there's the physical magnet. So that's your plus. So you would rub that along, obviously, just like you learned in, you know, junior high science, and that will change the polarity, so it will stick. And then obviously if you want to get rid of that, you can use the minus. So you put it in there and do the exact same, and it changes it to the opposite direction. So it would lose its magnetism there towards ferric stuff. So very interesting. I've got no problems with this. I'm happy with them so far. I mean, I did have another Wera here, which has, now that set does have Torx. It's got Allen keys and all sorts of stuff, and that the Torx borehole on that goes down to, so there's one there. Now, I wonder what size that is. That is, I'll take it out. So this is a 1/4 inch, obviously. So there you can see that one. Now that's not that small actually. Let's see what size this actually is. So I can get it the right way up. There. Get it to focus. Come on, you swine. There. So borehole, now that's got 867/4. So let's check what diameter that is. So yeah, okay, it is much bigger. Yeah, okay, fair enough. Because I thought, well, hang on, I'm sure I've seen one, so it's about the same as that. Okay, fair enough. So it looks like it's around a 15 or something. So okay, fair enough. In fact, it's not, it's a 10. There you go. It's a 10. I must do a review for this set actually. This was quite a nice set. I'll look at that at some point for someone. But I just wanted to quickly cover this. So let's look at the specs here. So decent price, it's Wera, so it's decent. Now I want to know where this is made. So yes, it's German, but sometimes what they do is they're tricky and they say it's German and then it's made somewhere completely different. Right, made in the Czech Republic. I don't live in the Czech Republic. I've never visited the Czech Republic, so I don't know what the quality of their stuff is like. So if you can stick that in the comments section, I presume they're okay. I've worked with Polish people before, and they said, oh, they're pretty good on the tools and things like that, which is fine. But I don't know enough about the Czech Republic. I would have preferred to have seen this made in Germany. That's the reason why I went for a German tool. It's a bit of a shame that, because you can't get them if you bear with me. Here's one, look. No, made in Germany, proper made in Germany. You know, it's a German, I think this is the Philo. So there are German brands which still take the time and effort. I mean, it's just a money-making scheme, really. You'll get a good brand name, and then they'll say, right, let's have this made in, you know, out in Mongolia, where we can get kids to do it. I'm not saying that they're getting kids to do it, but there's a cost-cutting exercise there, which, are they passing that cost-cutting exercise on to me as an end user? Probably not. That's why you get billionaires who can go into space. But I'm not going to get onto that bandwagon. Okay, so put that to one side. So I'm happy with these so far. I've had no problems. The coating doesn't seem to be coming off. Like I say, I don't think it's a DLC. It's probably a PVD or something like that. There's certainly lasers involved, so that heat, and I'm presuming they do it in a vacuum, and it gives you something of a sacrificial layer, which is nice because it means you're not having to constantly oil tools and worry about grease and things like that. And it's not the end of the world though. No, you've got to look after your tools. So had no problems with this. Nice rubberized system here. You've got the magnetizer or demagnetizer in there if you need it, and it's pretty compact. And I like the sleeves. I don't know about making them more ergonomic, but it certainly makes them a little bit easier in the cold, although this coating takes that a bit off. It's not like completely bare metal. It's got a bit of a texture. You're not gonna, you know, get stuck to it in the snow or anything. And I can just quickly go for a colour that I want. I do like that. I find that of a benefit to me. And you can angle these in silly angles when, you know, whoever's made a project has not thought of that, and then you've got to try and get in and sort it out. So decent, but early days because I've only used them a few times. So I'll let you know if it all goes south on me. So this is the Wera, the 967/9 TORXs borehole, or security, some people call them. That's the profile you're going to get there. But just be aware, like I say, the security aspect or borehole only goes so far. Okay, so just be aware of that. Once you get down to the smaller ones, I don't know why they've done that. I should probably send them an email and say, have you sent me the wrong ones? But never mind. Anyway, I'm enjoying these so far. Any comments on, if you think, well, they're rubbish, I've got much better ones, stick them down below. I'd love to hear. I was looking at some by Vihar, I think it was, but they were a bit overpriced, and I think I might have seen some by PB Swiss or somewhere like that, or Philo. I can't remember the company, but they also had a colour on, so I might try and get a hold of them and compare them. But they've been okay, no problems for me so far, but I haven't done mega extensive. This is just a very rapid look. I've tried to keep this short. Okay, so thanks for joining me. If you want to see any more tools, let me know, or if you think these are rubbish and you've got better ones, stick it down below, because I am genuinely interested. If someone says, no, I've got this set and they're much better, I will listen to that, and I'll go and get them, because I want the best. I want trouble-free tools. That's why I oil my tools and look after them. Trouble-free. You want them to work, no messing about. Anyway, thanks for joining me. I'm off. Goodbye.